Searching for papers written by a specific author can be challenging. Authors may have changed their name over time, or may have the same name and initials as another researcher. Author name ambiguity makes it difficult to find and assess the work of individuals. The Web of Science uses several tools to solve this problem, working in tandem: author records, numerical author identifiers, and author profiles. Let's take a look at each one and how Web of Science helps you take control of your researcher identity. Web of Science uses a combination of artificial intelligence and human curation to disambiguate authors. Our algorithm computes over 250 million authorships from the Web of Science core collection and uses over 40 features to determine the likelihood that two publications belong to the same author, including name matching, affiliation, citation behavior, and co-authorship patterns. This is paired with verified author input from Publons and ORCID, which use numerical identifiers, as well as feedback from the global Web of Science user community, which enables the algorithm to learn and improve author data. The result is clusters of papers called author records. You can find these author records by clicking on an author name or by running an author search. These aren't profiles, but represent a set of likely papers for that person. One person may have more than one author record if they've changed their research focus, changed their name, or collaborated with different groups of authors. Authors then claim their author records in the core collection, confirming which articles are theirs. These claimed author records are stored in a free, public researcher profile on Publons, and will be tagged with the unique Web of Science Researcher ID number. As they publish more papers, they can continue adding to their profile, which automatically updates their Web of Science author record. But anyone who uses Web of Science, not just authors, can contribute to making Web of Science author records better. Author records have the option to provide feedback through a form that will be verified manually by Web of Science data team members for accuracy, helping to improve author data. Only registered users of Web of Science can submit feedback and must provide contact details as well as their relationship to the author. See our video on curating author records for more details. Curated and claimed author records mean better author search, discovery, and analytics. We're all trying to get better author data. Let's get there together. It's a challenge to communicate all the ways you influence your sphere of research. Web of Science provides several tools working in tandem to help you take control, save time, and demonstrate your impact. Use Web of Science Core Collection's author search to gather your articles, get metrics for your publications, claim them as your authored works, and promote them publicly with the Publons profile to show a 360-degree view of your influence. To get started, navigate to the Web of Science Core Collection, then click on the Author Search tab. This begins a guided search that will bring back one or more author records associated with your name. An author record is a collection of publications we think belong to you. Learn more about how author records are created in our first video in this series. If your name is unique, you may be taken straight to your singular author record, like this example. If your name is extremely common, you'll be guided through the search by filtering for country and affiliation first. If there is more than one record that represents your name, maybe because you've published under different names or share your name with someone else, you'll be shown a pick list of author records. You can preview publication and author information to narrow down your choices. Combine your author records together into one. Now that your publications are combined into one record, you can begin to work with the information and claim your articles. See a summary of your author metrics in this panel on the right. Get even more data by using this link to view these articles as a set of records. Export analyze them, or get a downloadable citation report. But don't stop there. Make sure to claim your author record to Publons to make all of this great data public. It's a free profile that combines your publication and citation data with peer review and editorial activity to show a 360-degree view of your research contributions. Right now, this record is labeled as unclaimed. Click the Claim This Record button to get started. If you already have a Web of Science login, use those credentials. If not, register for a profile now. Once you're signed in, you can accept or reject each publication you've just imported. Publons sends that feedback to Web of Science, and it will be reflected in your author record, making it easier for people to search for and find your publications. Once you've claimed your author record, it will be updated in Web of Science with your unique Web of Science Researcher ID number and verified as claimed. Once an author record is claimed, it can only be managed by you through your Publons profile. You will be able to import any future publications through Publons suggestions, or you can search for new author records in Web of Science and add them to your profile. Web of Science users will be able to click through to your Publons profile from your author record, view your curated profile, and learn more about you. Publons not only stores author publication data that is claimed from Web of Science, but also is a way to promote your larger scholarly contributions, the impact of your publications through the citation data from Web of Science, as well as your peer review and editorial work. A Publons profile is the only 360-degree view of your research activities available. Take control of your author identity and promote your contributions using all the tools available: author records, Web of Science Researcher ID, and Publons. Supporting researchers at your organization is now easier with the new Web of Science author record. You can provide feedback that will permanently correct publication records and improve author disambiguation and overall author data quality across Web of Science Core Collection. Web of Science Core Collection's author search makes it easy to gather your researchers' published articles and provide data feedback to help disambiguate, properly attribute, and ultimately assess the research for your organization. Get started by signing in to your Web of Science profile, or create one if you don't already have one. Only registered users of Web of Science can suggest corrections to an author record. Our data teams will need to verify your relationship to the author and communicate with you about your corrections. Once you're signed in, get started using the Author Search feature. Make sure you're in the core collection, then click Author Search. Enter the author's last and first names. This begins a guided search that will bring back one or more author records associated with the name you searched. If you're unfamiliar with author records, check out our first video in this series. If the name is unique, you may be taken straight to a singular author record. If the name is extremely common, you'll be guided through the search by filtering for country and affiliation first. It's likely there is more than one record that represents the author name you're searching, maybe because they've published under different names, or share their name with someone else. If so, you'll be shown a pick list of author records. You can preview publication and author information to narrow down your choices. You can decide which author records actually represent the same individual and combine those author records together into one. Once they're combined, you can then provide feedback about specific publications. Suggest a correction here by clicking on this link. Corrections for data points like author names or affiliations should actually be made through our customer support teams. To tell us which publications belong to this author, click Continue to suggest a correction. From here, you will be able to edit this combined author record, removing any publications you know don't belong. When you remove a publication, the count in the box on the left changes, and you will have the opportunity to view the removed records and undo the changes if needed. If you're satisfied, click Submit Updates. You'll be asked to submit your name, email address, your relationship to the author, and any additional details. Our Web of Science data teams will review your request. You'll be notified by email that your submission has been received, and again when an outcome is reached. The accepted changes will be reflected in the updated author record. Our disambiguation algorithm learns from the feedback you submit, helping us continually improve the accuracy of author data in the Web of Science. Author data, made better together.